Hi, my name is Roland. I'm the chair of the Christian Business Angels. We are an organization focusing on creating employment for those who most need it in developing countries. We do this by teaming the resources, pooling the resources of our business executives from around the world, active and retired, together with local business leaders, in this case in the country of Kenya, and we work together to identify, train, and invest in and coach entrepreneurs within Kenya to help raise up their early stage companies. Now that may not sound like anything special, but it is. Early stage companies in a country like Kenya have a problem raising money. Bank loans are not available. Family finances are limited. Investor capital is scarce. Check this picture here and understand the difference between a developed economy and a developing economy. In the developed economy, we can see that there is economic activity and investment opportunity across the spectrum, from very small startups all the way to very large scale public companies even. In the developing economy, what we see is there's plenty of activity happening at the very small end, microfinance investments, loans from charitable organizations, relief foundations, etc., typically $50 to $500 to help people buy a chicken, a sewing machine, or something else to help them feed their families. It's helping people out of poverty, but just to the subsistence level. At the other end of the spectrum, we have the large companies that are present in countries like Kenya and other developing nations as well, where wealthy people, established business people, own companies, and foreign investors, maybe like yourself, can come in and make an investment, take a percentage in the company to help it achieve its next level of growth. Both of those create jobs, and both of them serve the local economy, but both of them are missing the bulk of the population. Here's why. Microfinance serves the people at the bottom end of the scale, helping individual families or individual people eat their next meal, get out of poverty and live at the subsistence level. Investment at the other end of the scale is helping the owners of already established companies make even more revenue and more profit on their business. As an institutional investor or a foundational investor in a first world country, the attractive investment, of course, is the established company in the developing country. There's market opportunity that is just up and coming. We can put in $1 million or 10 million, create jobs, and create a good return on investment with a minimum amount of risk relative to starting a new company. Of course, at the other end, an investor doesn't necessarily feel any attraction toward the microfinance space because there's no real return on investment, the risk is high, and there's a lot of administration involved. But both of these opportunities are missing the largest segment of the population, creating jobs for people in the places where they live in companies that they can work with called the middle, small and medium-sized enterprises. This is what we call the missing middle. To a developing economy like Kenya, what we find is that there's a gap. There are many, countless college and university students and educated people looking for work and can't find it because there are no jobs. The Christian Business Angels addresses that need. We see it as our ministry, as our mission, like Jesus would have us do. Go feed the poor, go feed the hungry. We see that as create jobs for people so they can feed themselves. Identify the business entrepreneur and train him up and walk alongside him so that he can feed his community or she can feed her community. And so this is what we do. We're knee deep in Kenya already. We have about 50 people on our team in Kenya volunteering with us to identify business opportunities. We have another 15 to 20 investors, call them investors, but really they're people donating their time, talent, and treasure to the cause to raise up early stage companies for growth in the country of Kenya with local employees led by local business people. So we do the whole spectrum from identification of a company to evaluation of their business plans to training them in the business principles, Christian business principles that we want them to follow, to investing with them by loan or by equity, and then finally to coach with them, to walk alongside them in the years to follow to help them raise up that company. Our objective is within 3 to 5 years that we'll have more than doubled their staffing, whether they're at 10 or 20 staff now. Later, they may be at 50 to 100 staff, and have enough activity in that company so that they can either A, buy back their shares from, or they pay back their loans to CBA, or B, go for outside investment, as you would see at the other end of the scale. So that companies who are normally making economic investments in the larger firms in the developing nation would then be able to also invest in this company. For example, we have a company called Big Brains, one of our 30 companies, started maybe 5 years ago by a person with a small team of people around them building software for schools. Today, they're on the cusp of going for $250,000 to $500,000 of venture financing. So they've moved all the way to the other end of the spectrum, starting from right next to the microfinance sector. CBA is helping these companies move across the spectrum, and in doing so, we're creating employment where before there was no employment for the local people. This is the type of thing we do. Why am I talking to you about this? As an investor, we are blessed with time, talent, and treasure. Each one of us has time, talent, and treasure. Jesus commands us to use that time, talent, and treasure for building up of his kingdom, for building treasure in heaven. The purpose of our life is not to create wealth for ourselves, our family, or for other people. The purpose of our lives is help building the kingdom of God. And we see at the Christian Business Angels, we see that creating employment for people in this middle space as our way of helping build the kingdom of God. What we want to encourage you as investors to do, or investing in the space on the far side, in already established companies for financial return, we want to encourage you to think of this as a tithing opportunity. To take 10% of what you might invest in established companies and dedicate it to this middle space where nobody's playing, where very few people are actively helping early stage companies to grow. By doing that, we're going to create jobs for people. We'll be doing the work of Jesus together. Now, I can't promise any financial return to you. In fact, there's no return, it's a donation. However, what we're doing is we're setting the stage both for people to get out of poverty and eventually, as in the Big Brain software example, for early venture capital growth investment. And of course, as one of our members contributing to the Christian Business Angels, you would be given the first opportunity for that investment. But this is not about the money. It's not about your investment and your return. It's about building the kingdom of God and helping people that need it. My message to you, my request to you is this. Consider a tithe or a half tithe of the funding that you control now into this middle space that we've talked about and placing it with an organization like the Christian Business Angels to help develop new employment opportunities for people that need it. Won't you join us? Thank you.